Okay, we are live. I'm going to have to message some people who have StreamYard on a newer laptop. This is the angle of my camera now, y'all, on my new laptop. Um, and this is Heather as big as I can make myself without losing my chat. But this is going to be pretty cool when I can figure this all out because now on this laptop, I can present things and stuff once I can figure out how to do that. So I'm not like all in and all of everybody's face. And yeah, smack that sassy. You got it, girl. And oh, hey, sup, girl? Hey, girl. Hey, driving home from work. This will give me something good to listen to. Well, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. It was 14. When we woke up, I think it was around 36. We had a little bit of frost, but now we're up into, I think, about 45, 50. Um, the sound is super clear, much better. Pick is gorgeous. Thank you. It's just, if y'all can see how much black border space I have instead of being able to bring the screen out more, if I do, I lose chat. But then maybe there might be someone who has something like this that I might be able to tweak, so to speak. And hello, Sandy. Sandy is here from Devon. And we have Jackie. Oh, excuse me. Very interesting day. Well, weekend, yes, I got myself a laptop. I was able to, with the help of Tom, early ritual, especially Tom. Man, I have been like nonstop since like last Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through until I finally got. And now, after I got my my laptop, he's been hearing a lot more too from me saying, "How do I do this?" Because going from an iPad and a Mac perspective, I didn't do good on MacBooks. I ended up having to lose money years ago and sell mine dirt cheap because I couldn't figure out the layout. But the iPads I had no problem with, and but now the iPad's going, and so now I'm trying to get my brain rewired again for Microsoft and sip sip everybody. Mm. Oh, this is hot, nice and fresh. So I got a new my real special deck in came in today. I just can't get over the presentation, the packaging. The She even gave me, and I'll do either a live a little later or tomorrow. She even threw in some cards from her other decks as a thank you. So I think she deleted 77 messages already this past week. I did. Hey, Tom. I sent you a picture of what the screen looks like right now. And if I go to make myself any bigger, I lose chat. So I don't know, maybe you can help me maybe figure out how to tweak that. And then trying to get iOS photos uploaded and it's here, but then it won't let me, I mean, oh, this girl was not born with a technological brain, I tell you that. But so, um, here, let me. No, I think I'm all right. Plus, I have more camera, so I had to fill up that gap. So I just threw a painting that I recently did in the back. So, but yeah, I'll have a beautiful deck reveal later. I have my witch woman in total control of herself today. Control self of her for today, along with my beautiful new Baroque tarot for reads. Um, I should probably grab also a Sacred Feminine card deck. Let's see. Let me grab one from here. I'll grab the one that Miss Selena inspired me to. Heather is not going to like the bill she receives from me. ah, so funny, Tom. So funny. So I will be reading from this. So for today, um, Multitasking. Girl, is there a day when you're not eating tacos? It's Monday. Every time I see you, you're talking about, oh, I'm going to make some tacos. Oh, I'm going to make some burritos. So I wasn't sure really because I wanted to kind of break down some of the winter goddesses and kind of do a little bit here and there. So I thought of pulling out my goddess days, and on my end, it looks like it's backwards. So I'm hoping that you guys can read this properly, that it's showing properly up because that is very strange. I hope that comes across as legible. So today is because it's a goddess for every day. So where did she go? Oh my goodness. It was it's an Irish, it's Garion that is supposed to be there. She is. Okay. So today is day 335. If I did the book and it only looks and sounds better. Okay, because I'm really small and I kind of wish I was a little bit bigger on my screen because this kind of throws me off a little. Taco Monday? Hey, every day is a Taco Tuesday, right? So, Gahrian. So let's find out about her. Magic is the ability to make the best possible use of changing circumstances. Isn't that befitting? So, and magic is not like sleight of hand. This magic is that innate natural power that we have. Everybody thinks magic is outside of ourselves, that is dark, it's evil, it's witchy stuff, it's this and that. But when we do any sort of speaking, whether or not you believe in, because there are some people that don't believe in spells, but when we talk and communicate with each other, the words that we use do hold power. They do, affect how we, it makes how we feel, but it also affects on others. So when it talks about magic, our words is our power to create that change. Magic is about, directing that energy, creating change using our energy, our power, and how we want to manifest and direct that energy. So, when you see the word magic is the ability, it's basically that magic is that power within you. Let's see, Allison said, still driving at a stoplight. I had to look at what you were talking about. You are crystal clear, great picture. Congratulations on yes. It's been a good year, and I've been treating myself to a few decks, and I absolutely love them, and especially to support my growth, in reading. I don't ever really use StreamYard, so I don't know how to make the picture bigger. Well, Tom, if you maybe started doing some StreamYard, but you know what? I may now with this laptop be able to switch over to Emux, but I don't know. I'm a lot more comfortable with StreamYard. But yeah, and words are spells. They can be, yes, people think spells are, or dark magic spoken by, dark witches and wizards and this and that. But, when people go to church and they pray, that is a beautiful form of spell work as well. I mean, our Christian prayers, also have a rhyme. I mean, they're basically spells. So anywhere chants, songs, things that we use inflection on and repetition, that is all magic. That is all spell work. That is our using our sacred breath to create change and manifest. And it's that intention that we put behind it that makes it, I don't want to say good or bad, but you get the picture. I wouldn't use StreamYard, F them in their pricing. Yeah, well, it is what it is. And maybe once I get my channel built up again, because I really would like to. I've received a lot of support and confirmation from some of my other readers that I value their opinion greatly. and they have seen the growth, and I really want to see if I can start taking my channel back up again. I was able to hit 1,000 on Indigo Jaguar. I don't see why I can't do that here. But I'm also considering maybe combining the two as well. So yes, they got really greedy. They did, but right now this is what I understand and can work with. So Miss Nancy, hello, my dear. If everyone could just keep continuing sending Nancy loud love and healing energy, that would be greatly appreciated from my mama. She's resting, got a couple nice books, in tow for reading in bed, and she told me today it's going to be a journey for her to get well, but I believe, and again, using words as spells, what we speak, I believe together as a collective, we can help Nancy through this energetically. So much love to you, Nancy. So, Gahrian, two Irish sisters, okay, there, two ancient Irish sister sons shared the wheel of the year. Gahrian of the thin winter sun and her twin Ane of the bright summer heat. Gahrian appears to be the older, hooded reed witch who takes herself into a cave each year to be born again as Ane, the younger midsummer sister. Her name is the Gaelic word for sun, and numerous legends tell of the many named Coldhag, who was ancient beyond belief. Irish women considered themselves daughters of Gahrian, and lived in open sun houses called Gahrianan, a kind of sunroof winter spa, one would think. Sister Spirit of the Winter Sun pays a paradoxical visit, and in her crony kind of mischievous way invites you out for sun and play. What you think is happening isn't really what's happening at all. She winks, whistling and kicking up a little gig, holding her skirt above her strong and lusty legs. Recognize the difference between what is and isn't, what can and can't be. Count your blessings and keep smiling. Take time to get some sun on your face and some fresh air in your lungs. Yes, yes. Fresh air, being outside, getting some sun, so important for our overall health, our immune system, helps us with our mental health, and keeps us positive. Helps get that blood moving, especially when you can get out and walk and start working the lymphatic system. Really, really helps. So even when it's 14 degrees, right, Allison? I'm sure Scout, you and Scout get your exercise that way. So recognize the difference between what is and isn't, what can and can't be. Okay. Count your blessings and keep smiling. Take time to get some sun on your face and some fresh air in your lungs. The Gahrian women are calling your name. Immense power is carrying you toward your goals. Keep the vision strong. I love this, especially going into the winter months, and the nights get longer and longer, and we come up to Yule, the night when it's the longest night of the year, and then that next day the sun rises, and from there on, the sun will keep getting stronger and stronger in the sky. So it's like that, keeping your vision strong. And we are also coming up soon in a few days to a full moon as well. And it's interesting because it's Gemini. It's going to be in the sign of Gemini. And they're talking about the two sisters here. So again, the dark and the light. Love how this all came together. And the affirmation for this goddess is, I see the sun mother in me, and she shines splendidly. So for some cultures, their goddesses are moon based, and here we have one that is sun based. So I like the cave part too. reminiscent of the Hermit and very much also like the Cave of the Cats. I can never think of the proper pronunciation, so I don't want to disrespect the Morrigan. But she has a sacred cave as well herself, um, that she goes within, her and her sisters. So that was the goddess Garion for the winter months. And so let me see how my banners work on here. Well, let me really quick take a sip. And I'm going to set that Baroque aside because I want to start using my new winter. Um, let's see, Witches, Seasons of the Witch Tarot and Oracle, if I can find where I put the tarot. And Allison, you should see some of the beautiful decks I've gotten, girl. And I've been blessed with sales. So, alrighty. So I will be starting to use this deck also. I did some readings last night and poetry. And thank you for people who came to my poetry last night. We got to read, this book and got some new different insights and vision, in ways that we can visually see and comprehend and add layers to the tarot through the eyes of other writers. And of course, this edging, I mean, my goodness, it's starting to come a little bit, but that is just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. 'Tis the season, buy responsibly. Yes. Well, Heather's got some stuff up her sleeve, and hopefully things will pan out as the first. I am considering going back to school, getting some assistance from a local agency here to get my my peer certification for Oregon. Unlike New York, which is free, here you have to pay for the certification. But it's not an exorbitant amount. And I was told I could probably apply and receive some help for that. So, and I am also going to be using my Seasons of the Witch Yuletide deck today. All righty. So, and I also got, again, my witch woman in total control of herself. And I do have my other goddess deck I'm going to use. It is the Goddess Oracle deck. If you remember these lovely images. Or reckless abandon, whatever floats your boat. Oh, girl, you and I have been through so much. I think we can, treat ourselves, that iPad was not, my iPad is about 8 years old, and it was just not, things were freezing, and it's just like, no, I got to make this investment in myself. And with the schooling, I'll have, a laptop that can handle schoolwork and help handle my StreamYard. I still have my Canva that works beautifully on here. I can start maybe working on my cards that I want to maybe create, whether they hand painted ones or not. So a lot of just wonderful opportunities with this. Yeah. Ooh, witchy woman. See how high she flies. Okay. So everybody knows the drill. There's no specific question, just, if anybody would like a divine, or actually a sacred feminine. I like the word sacred. There we go. You know what to do. Me. And Jackie, I will be in touch. We got to set a date for you to come on. I would love to have you join me for a sacred feminine if you're up to it. Okay, so we have Jackie, we got Jax, and Mr. Sandy. I missed you the other night with when I was reading with Brenda. I think it was Brenda. We had to take a couple of her donations that her people paid her for readings that night. So if you would like, I can look at love for you. If you want, so let me know, Sandy. I can do that for you as well. I'd be very, very happy to. Gladiators ready. If you do a sassy feminine call me. Well, you'll have to join me. We'll make it a sassy feminine. So, alrighty. So, Jackie. But I'm serious, Sandy. If you would like, we can pull a goddess card and for love for you and see what they have to say. I know it was very late that night. And I didn't realize Brenda was going to be having super chats. So I'd be more than happy to oblige you, my friend. Thank you for your support. Okay. And Nancy, let me know if you would like one. And I know, Allison, you're driving, but if you want one, let me know. And I always let you know what the timestamp was. Okay, so Jackie, Sacred Feminine. Let's see a goddess here for you. Oh, Jackie, it's not a goddess. Let's see. Well, we're going to have to pull one because we're looking for a goddess for you. But Jackie, you've been getting moon cards. Girl, you really need to tap into, okay, I got used to the new camera. Oh, you really got to get into the moon rituals, my dear. That moon is calling your name. I see things clearly. Ooh, that's weird. I got the shakes. I see things clearly and calmly. Wow, look at that. And I really hope that you guys can read it properly because still on my video, I am seeing that it is backwards. So hopefully y'all are getting that properly. So the next card, what the hell is the matter with my arm? That's weird. I embrace. Okay, that's weird. Woo. So you got Fortuna. I embrace the unexpected. I've been clocking the moon cycles. I got your moon calendar. So Fortuna is, I believe, the Roman goddess of good fortunes. Let's just take a quick little peek here. Fortuna. Abundance, faith, gratitude, and grace. Let me see if there's anything with, but here, this is what I'm seeing here. So, they didn't mention. Yes, she is the Roman goddess of fate and fortune. So I like this. Maybe with the full moon ritual, use an affirmation. And the affirmation for her is, I welcome change as an opportunity for growth and fortune. So right off the bat, love that message for you from her. I'm excited for the next full moon. Diana, channel my guys. They want me to do a thing on the full moon and new moon. Missed the last one. Very cool, Jax. I like that. So, a quick sip. And I'm going to go to the Seasons of the Witch. Yuletide. Let's see what we get. Moon cycles again. But I love how they represented in this. So, darkest hour you have, my dear. There in the void of thy darkness swells the shadow of the soul, swallowing the wickedness into the blackness of its wholeness. And look at that. She's all surrounded by moons, the moon cycles. So learning how to connect again, of course, with the moon circles, the phases, and when those dark ones come around, allowing that negativity and darkness that you experience to be absorbed by that new moon, that dark moon, and to let that transform and move you forward. And let's grab a couple of the tarot. I love that. There in the void of thy darkness swells the shadow of the soul. I mean, that's such pure poetry right there. Cool. I noticed I get a lot more messages during the moon cycles. That's where we got to pay attention to those. Aw, how cute. So your 2 tarot cards. So the overall energy on top, the conscious energy, is the Master of Winter Pentacles. So this is basically the king, but in this deck they're referred to as Master. And he's got a very Santa vibe to him. And he's got his little, he's got like a little baby deer right at his feet, a little fawn. That's so pretty. So again, I kind of call this my Magus card because he's always doing his videos in front of his beautiful library. And so with the Master of Winter Pentacles, this is the king. This is the one who has mastered the art, let's say, of being able to be kind, compassionate, very generous. They are, amazing providers for those. Helping people get grounded, helping them feel safe, secure. As a father, they're they're like one of the main providers, and this can be an energy for the women too, because some women, like our Ginger Faye, she has to do both mom and dad roles for her sons. So this master is one who knows how to, take care of oneself, his family, loved ones, of course, connected to nature. It's the earth pentacle, that's the connection to the earth, to that beautiful spirituality, really good on, developing skills. And it's that master. I don't know about the word master though. But there is a mastery. There is a wisdom, and you can tell by the white hair that is gained over many years through learning, education, which is also connected with the pentacles. So this is your time of the year, my dear, where you are, feeling more safe, more secure, more stable in who you are, financially, being sound, and being drawn to start studying, start learning, exploring. And your underlying energy is the winter wheel, which is the wheel of the year. Magus, I conjured you. I tell people that this card makes me think of you. The Master of Winter Pentacles. There you are. And it's kind of hard to see there, but it's like a little cup. I always say that's Magus with this cup of cocoa. There's a little fawn at the bottom of his feet, but there you are in front of your library reading your books. So, and there's the white beard. So, but Jackie, the winter wheel. So this is the wheel of fortune, and moving forward into this winter, good things are coming. Things might be a little slow because it is winter. It's a little frozen, but this is the time when the wheel goes a little bit slower. The nights again are longer, and this is the opportunity to really start. I'm hearing, making the connections. It's like the thread. It's the sewing. It's the sewing together of the words of, again, are coming back around again to magic, power in our words, and what we want to create for ourselves moving forward, and how we can honor ourselves, our ancestors during this time of year. Just absolutely beautiful. But the winter wheel, good fortunes on the way. And you got the Fortuna card, the goddess Fortuna. So good fortunes coming your way. And so that's what I have for you, my dear. It's really weird. One of my nerves in my arm is driving me nuts. If I sit and hold something like that, all my hand starts to do is shake. It's really weird. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine. Interesting. Okay. Well, we just love you more, Magus. All righty. Alrighty, up next is Jax, and there's still plenty of time for if anybody else would like one, would like a divine feminine. And Vegas did a video too the other day on dark goddesses. So if you want a little bit more goddessy goodness for your Monday, be sure to go over there and check out his video on the dark goddesses. You to immobilize it until it feels better. It's weird. It's like, but now it's not. See, now, that is weird, Jackie. It was doing that when I was pulling cards for you. Jackie, do you ever have anything that goes on with your left side? Just out of curiosity. I've been told I need to start kind of paying attention more to signs that I'm given and things and stuff. So, woo. Now, this is a goddess name. But let's keep pulling your cards. Do I want to pull a Yuletide or do I want... No, I want to pull the Witch Oracle's calling to me, girl. No, not you. Not you, Jax. I was talking to Jackie on that one because when I was pulling cards and trying to hold them up for Jackie, that was when my left arm started doing the funny stuff. Yes, I have nerve damage in your left hand. Oh my goodness. Well, Jax, your card has your goddess, and she's using her right hand to hold that beautiful sphere of a pearl, a water. But that is quite the name. This is when I wish I had Selena popping in the chat. Selena, how do you phonetically say Kal? I would say Kalhuatl. Oh, here we go. Let's just get this. You know what we will do? Hi, Moira. Moira still openings. If you would like a reading. So, working on my new laptop today, Moira. And everybody, again, Saturday with Ben was fantastic. We had such a great time. And Ben and I are going to be back, but it's going to be a weekday this week. I believe it's going to be Thursday. I believe it is going to be around maybe noon my time. Just got to double check with him because of now being 8 hours ahead with the UK or being behind. We're going to be doing an 80s movie, music, movie, and mayhem. So my left arm is all messed up, shoots from top of my shoulders to my hand, carpal tunnel nerve. Oh, Jackie. I'm so sorry to hear that, sweetheart. Okay, what do we get for Jax? All righty. So, yeah, me too. Because you know what movie Heather's going to want to talk about when we're talking about 80s movies. So let me see if they tell you how to pronounce her name properly in this deck. Will they tell me how to say it? No, they won't. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a moment and we're going to find how to pronounce this goddess's name. So, okay, just bear with me, everybody. G-U Huddle the cube. There we go. Pronunciation. So, Chal, Kal, Ki, Kli, Kwe. Okay, so this is who you got, my dear. So her name here, let me switch hands here. So her name is pronounced Chokchi Tli Kwe. I know that's not, so putting it all together, it sounds like Kulchi Utlikwe. So at least we made a beautiful effort. And hello, I am Lulu. Good to see you, my dear. And so her card, her energy is I express myself with honesty and integrity. And you have, I know, say that fast 5 times. So that is her coming for you. And wait a minute, let me pull back up. There was an additional. And so she is the Aztec goddess of the river and sea. Emotional honesty, self expression, self acceptance, and fertility. She goes, damn right I do. Yep. So, oh, my hand's starting to do that again. Ooh, that's weird. Let's see here. It took 5 attempts for the Aztecs to create the world. Chal, okay. I'm just going to call her Chalky for short. No offense, dear goddess. Governed of the sun and the rivers and seas in the fourth incarnation. She carved deeply and gave freely, but was a sensitive soul. One day, the god of the first sun accused her of not really caring about her people. Devastated, she began to cry and did not stop for 52 years. Wow. Great gushing rivers of tears drowned the earth, bringing the end of the fourth world. The fifth world, our world, followed, and she serves as a reminder that is important to express our emotions as this leads to a better world for everybody. So, not holding back our emotions, not being afraid of being called weak or sensitive. But if you need to cry, you need to get it out. And if there are people in your circle that you know that you can go to be able to let that out for you to release, whether it's family, a professional. It's so much healthy for us not to hold our emotions in. Um, so that's what you have from her. Now you've got the maiden journey from the witch oracle, total woman in control of herself. And I got to figure out what this light now too with the glare. And so she is on a major maiden journey. So for me, before I even really, I don't even know if I need to look at the book, you know, for anything extra right now, Jax, because I see that as you. You are on this new journey. You have come such a long way. And look how the dark clouds are in the past, and she's moving forward. She's following the geese, and she's and she's above the light of the clouds. And so this is a basically a maiden journey of moving into a new phase of your life, with the family that you've been helping, that safe home space that you've been creating. Again, the spiritual journey that you are taking on. Um, it just goes to show just how resilient you are. I keep on keeping on. Life's a garden. You got to dig it. And let's see, what's this? Here, I got to pull this up. You know what's funny? The version of my dad I see in my mind's eye, 52. No clue why, but wow, wow, wow. Well, that could very well be that message too coming in. And if it's connected with your dad and with his loss, this could be also a reminder, making sure that he's saying, process your grief, sweetheart. We all grieve at a different, in different stages. We're not just boom, boom, boom. These are all the stages, and then you're done. No, but I think it's also a gentle reminder that we know when we need we know when to set aside moments where it's like, okay, when these things come up, these emotions come up, I can't be with you right now, but I will give you time, and make sure you honor that so that all this emotion doesn't well up and cause dis-ease in our bodies, and turns on our bodies. So we make sure that when we are able to express and release those emotions and those tears, it's all about strength. It's never about weakness. And that's one of the things about our society. I don't like how they keep referring to crying, especially for men, as a sign of weakness. But moving forward, as I had said, the Nine of Winter Wands. You got the wands. And you have been through a very long journey previous to the maiden one, and you still may have some going on, but this card shows that you have been through a lot. You have but you continue to carry yourself. You have those beautiful candles laying your way, and you're holding it yourself. You are holding the torch and the flame for yourself, and by doing that for yourself, others see that and see that as an inspiration. She's going into what looks like a another portal, or even maybe even that cave herself, and going within to rest, because this is that card of having been through hell. And for her, this is probably like, a little bit like, Little Red Riding Hood. She's been through those woods. She's exhausted. She's been chased by all sorts of shadows and demons, but yet she's still holding the torch for herself. She still has faith, and she's leaning herself into a place where she can, rest, and to be able to recoup. You make your path grow, you damn straight. And underneath your underlying energy is the Two of Winter Pentacles. And so the season, you are balancing that. You are, juggling home, being a mom to, what did they call that when, oh, there was a word that they used, a nuclear family, when the people outside of, but no, this is you being a home, a mother for those who need one. And making sure that you're also giving that to yourself. But this is a card about how she's just beautifully gliding and creating her figure eights on that ice. She's looking back, but not afraid, that she's going to, she feels safe enough in how she's able to manage and juggle everything. But for me too, even though it's okay, it's safe, she feels safe to take her eyes from being in front, but also, kind of acknowledging the past and saying, okay, this is what has been. I'm juggling this with my current present, and you're doing your best. Again, like with that Nine of Wands, some days it's, you feel like, especially with physical health, it's like, I'm done. Stick a fork in me. This is it. But here it shows that you are doing this with grace. You are doing this. To me, ice skaters are graceful. They're fluid. The way they balance is incredible. So this is acknowledging everything that you juggle and balance in your daily life to be able to provide that nurturing support, that financial support, that home hearth safety for others and yourself. A blended family. Thank you. They used to use back in the day, I don't think there was a 90s term or something where they were calling it a nuclear family. And I'm thinking, why the hell would you want to call it nuclear? But I don't know. So let me put this there. Let me take a quick sip and see what we have been. I'm about to put up the last tree before he passed. Oh, I told John, let me keep it up. That's beautiful. Yep. I miss mine too. I got in the car today and saw the time was 10:26, and it's my papa's birthday. So I said, hey, Papa, I go, I know you're here, love you and miss you. Those are very cute, cards and illustrations. Um, but the description, the literature in them is incredible. And I am Lulu is here. I had a doggie. Her name was Lulu, and so did Alice. And so it's nice to see Lulu. It makes my face smile. We ended up calling her Lilu, but her name originally was Lulu. I'm work lurking. First time I had the chance to say hi. Well, thank you for saying hi. And I think you asked for, okay, I can give you a reading. Lulu, are you still here? Goals next month is to have my channel together. You go, girl. Me, I love a car. Oh, so that winter. Okay, wow. So we have Allison and we have Alice. Oh my God, Allison and Lulu. Oh my goodness, I want to cry. Princess Bride, as you wish. What is this? Yep. Well, that'll probably be brought up too. Yes, you are here. Okay. So, Allison, and then Lulu. And hi, Irene. Mm. So let's get this party started. So actually, let's see. Well, Allison, I know you said you don't work with the goddesses in particular. So let me grab a witch oracle, and then I will grab the Bard of Truth. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pull. I don't think you've seen my Yuletide, so I'll pull out a Yuletide as well. The Bard of Truth with this Buck of Enlightenment. Hey, this Bard of Truth is actually a female. And people don't like, people bits, girly bits, boy bits, then divert thy gaze. So you got the Bard of Truth to start out, Allison. And the Bard of Truth is, and look how the swan has a bow tied around, her neck as well. And so this gives me a little bit of like Lita and the Swan sort of vibes as well. But with the Bard of Truth, that is someone who speaks their truth, whether they do it through song, through poetry, whatever forms of communication. But this is someone who is not afraid to speak their truth, share their truth. Let me see what else, because I haven't picked up this deck in a long time. And this is another amazing book that goes with the deck. There's quite a bit of information for each of the cards, and she puts a lot of poetry in here. So what she writes is self-deprecation, deep modesty, self-doubt. These are the results of living in fear of judgment, caged in a system that judges women for speaking out and standing true. Our lives are not our own as long as we fear being transparent. When we allow ourselves to shrink with fear of being judged or shamed for speaking up, standing up, or standing out from the status quo, we have lost the very essence of what makes us feel most alive, our authenticity. Our authenticity is our practical magic. And it goes on a little bit more, but I think that says a lot. So it is connected to our grace, our resilience, and our radiance, and our confidence. It's all connected to our grace, like the swan, and also to our heart's music, which is like a sweet melody. So that is the start out for you, my dear. Your Yuletide from Seasons of the Witch is mistletoe. What dreams may come from the borrowing of ivy held tight within the womb, a calling in of sorts, a spell from above, holy holly. That is beautiful. I love that. And I know you love nature and you honor plants and honor herbs. So I think that's also a very beautiful acknowledgement of the sacredness and the holiness that you find in the earth and in plants and in nature. And it's acknowledging your dreams. And also acknowledging that those dreams are growing within. You're keeping them within you, and they're kind of like germinating and waiting for the moment when that calling, and you do the work and you speak them into being, again, like in the beginning with the guys we were talking about, Gurion. So this is a beautiful card acknowledging that desire to bring forth out of that beautiful watery womb of our dreams and goals and aspirations, to bring something to fruition. And your two tarot cards. So we got the Ace of Winter Swords. This is the top one. And the Ace of Winter Sword. Oh my, I love, look at that beautiful little crystal she's holding in her hand. And as we know, the Ace of Swords is all about messages, connecting with our higher selves, the crown chakra. And as you can see, girl, you got that lightning coming right down, boom, right into your head and that whole beautiful chakra area. So you are getting, you're seeking messages. You are getting more, probably more clarity, um, getting more clarity as you do the work. I know we haven't talked in a bit, but I'm feeling like there's been more of a focus in connecting with the ancestors, with connecting with your abilities that we all know that you have, especially with the way you tap into your cards. And so this is a beautiful card showing that you are receiving more, you are expanding more, and your messages are coming through with more clarity for you. And with the crystal, I'm thinking to maybe keeping a crystal on you or around you. Damn, that lady on the Ace of Swords is intense. She's scaring me. Why is she scaring you? She's awesome. Look at that. She's got a gorgeous necklace. She's got that beautiful, she's got all the little sparkly stars. Whoop. Kind of hard to see. She's got those beautiful sparkly little stars on her cheeks and that beautiful crystal. Oh my goodness. I love that. But let's see really quick what else. Now that I got my 2 cents out of that. But here with her, an icy maiden stands tall in front of a brilliant strike of lightning, symbolizing a sudden realization of clarity. Her eyes glow an eerie black, suggesting her eyes are now wide open. She can see the truth of her situation clearly and without misunderstanding. A new beginning is upon her, but her icy exterior foretells the challenges she'll have to face to take this journey. Wow. So that's pretty darn cool. I mean, she goes on a bit. But yeah, I like this. It's basically a breakthrough moment, aha moment, or a sudden realization. So, and it says here, you're being offered a much deeper understanding of where you stand, and I think of who you are. And then your underlying energy, my dear, beautiful 10 of Winter Pentacles. So it's that beautiful legacy, the family, the coming together. You know, for me, the 10 of Pentacles, you know, when they say legacy, it's something that, to me, it's also about tradition. And I know, you know, the time of year when you get excited to see Wyatt and then you have your sweetie, it feels like a lot of this, as this clarity comes in, you find more and more who is your family, those who belong in your circle, the ones that truly are meant to be a part of that circle, to be a part of the home, of the hearth, and that beautiful celebration. And a lot of times too, when we look at gifts, we think of materialism. True, but this is also Pentacles. It's the gift of sharing our wisdom, our, and when I say skills, it's the things that we have in life that, you know, that money can't be bought. So it's that beautiful sharing and celebrating of, you know, of where we are in life, the gratitude that we have, and the celebration of who we are with each people in our family. So that's what I have for you, my dear. It's been a hot minute. And hello, Andrea. Good to see you. I understand the 10 of Winter Pentacles. Yes, I knew you would. And I understand the Ace of Swords. Okay. What's from the 20s? Ooh, do tell. Oh, we have somebody else here. Sky. Oh, wait a minute. Sky. Let's see. Oh, and so we get some more people coming in. Hello, Sky. Or no, wait a minute. Sky Key. Ooh. And then what did Allison say? Yes, that's reminding me that I need to be authentic with a situation because that's how I usually operate. But right now I'm not. You're welcome, girl. Let's see. Let me back up a little bit because I can't look at chat and keep. I like being able to keep my thoughts straight. So I think they are my spirit bird, the swans. Yep, I used to collect them as when I was younger. So I love all the wonderful people. Yeah, mistletoe. Yeah, I bet you he does too. A little kissing under the mistletoe. Um, so let's see who else is here. She's intense. She looks vintage. Yeah, I love these cards. That typically, if you told me this time last year I was going to be buying these cards, I would have been like, no, that art's not my thing. But now, oh, it's just beautiful. I resonate with it. All righty. You're welcome, girl. Don't be a stranger. Give me a call when you can. 555. Ooh, make a wish. Nope, you're next, Lulu. Perfect timing, girl. So let me take a quick sip. And I'm going right for the goddess deck. Whoa. No way. See, this is it. Cards don't lie. I love this. So in the beginning of the show, we talked about Gahrian. She is the winter aspect of the Celtic people, the Irish people. She's the winter, and her sister Ane is the spring. So it's her other half. It's her balance. It's the light side of her. And what did you get? Oops. Let's see. There we go. So Lulu, you got Ane. So we are reading for you right now. So Ane, I treat myself and others with respect and care. So I think this is a great message too for all of us as a collective, that the kind of care and generosity that we give to others, we make sure that we make sure we give to ourselves as well. It's not selfish to take care of our needs, and sometimes have to put them before others, especially when we're feeling drained, or we feel like we're being taken advantage of, or where we just don't have the energy. And I know at this time of year, this is going to resonate for a lot of us. So how beautiful. And I love how they put the horse with her. So let's see a little bit more about Ane, Lulu. Time I say your name, I think of like I'm calling my little puppy girl here. So Ane, let's find a little bit more. So she is the Celtic summer, of course, the Celtic goddess of summer and wealth. So she's Gahrian's sister, and she's about respect, honor, wisdom, and wealth. So, Andrea, I will add you to the list, my dear. I will see if I have time. But thank you for and I've had 2 dreams recently about horses. Wow. So that could very well be an animal totem to need to look into. So she is considered queen of the fairies, which is interesting because I always thought Maeve was considered the queen of the fairies. But so Ane, queen of the fae and fairest of all, is filled with love and sunshine. Midsummer is her rule time, like Gahrian is, the winter solstice. This time she is the midsummer. She's the summer light. And it's her time to rule. The longest day and night, she shares her radiant light and her gift of abundance. Um, she gave birth to grain and encourages growth. So this is where her energy about growth. And what the grain is thinking of, like the grains, the seeds that we plant. And it's not just necessarily in the ground, but it is the seeds that we plant within ourselves, within our psyche, and making sure that that soil that we plant into is nurtured and is rich and it's healthy. And so, because we can't expect something to grow and be able to be harvested if the ground or the soil that we're planting in is unhealthy. So this is a beautiful reminder of having respect and honor for ourselves, and treating ourselves that way, we create that beautiful, rich, fertile soil within ourselves. Um, she is generous to those who treat her with respect. She is fierce in her vengeance, maiming and stripping of his throne the king who once forced himself on her. So yeah, you don't want to mess with this chick. So again, another reminder that we don't let people take advantage of us. She's a reminder that again, the self-respect of equal give and take, and setting those boundaries, Lulu. She knows that true beauty shines when you treat yourself and others with respect and honor the land. Beautiful, beautiful message from Ani. And hey, Kristen Louise, what's up, girl? Alrighty, so what deck am I going to go next for you for Lulu? Lulu, I'm going to be going to the Witch's Oracle. So, okay, one flew out. The Dreamer. Oh, I love this again, Lulu. Moving forward, you got the Dreamer. So again, with Ane, planting those seeds, not being afraid to dream. This is the Dreamer. Pay attention to your dreams. This is also about following your dreams, but with this being at night, it feels like with the stars, falling from her hands, it feels like messages coming down to you in your dreams. So I don't know if you keep a journal, where you write down dreams, or even if it's something that you daydream, that you lucid dream, things that come to you to write down. Like you mentioned, now you've seen horses twice. You reminded yourself of that. So with this here, start paying attention to the dreams. It could be also with astral traveling. But I wanted to get my impressions out. You do keep a journal. Wonderful. So let's take a quick look at what Angie wrote. Let's see, the dream. Every time I hear the word dreamer, I think of the Muppet song from the Rainbow Connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. Okay, where are you, dreamer? So they must have done it this way. Huh. What number is she? That's number 20. That's weird. There we go. Okay, here she is, the soul, carrying you through the unveiled dream sky. When you sleep, the soul awakens and wraps you in her star-filled arms. This is a time for you to glimpse the heavens of your own psyche and sail the Milky Way of possibility. I'm looking for something else that jumps out at me. She writes a love letter to guide you through all you're dealing with right now. So again, paying attention to your dreams. And if you even can't remember, know that you have your guides, your ancestors with you as you're sleeping, guiding you through a lot of things right now. Delivering symbols and signs. The horse as well. I don't know, Lou, does anybody in your family ever own a stables or did things with horses, whether present time or maybe a past generation? Because it feels like, especially when you said two horses, it feels like this is an animal that has carried through to you through your generations. So let's see. This here is, okay. Delivering symbols and signs to help you process your potential, untangle your doubts and fears, and align with your highest possibility. So Ani is coming in again. This is like with Ani, telling you to, make time for yourself, create those boundaries. You need to have you time so that you black out the negative feedback or self-talk or even what we see on social media, because we get influenced so easily by what others think of us or say about us, or what we see, what social media dictates on how we are supposed to be. And so sometimes that will make us feel like we're diminished in our potential, and we really doubt ourselves, and our possible, fear of exploring something, that could very well be something that brings us joy. Your great great grandfather, okay, horse ride generations. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you. So here it says, a witch knows her dreams are a vital part of empowerment and records them, which you are doing, deciphering to the best of her ability. Says here, pay attention, keep writing them down. Um, and they can't be found in a dream dictionary. I mean, dream dictionaries can be fun and a little helpful, but for us, our symbols that spirit sends us or that we resonate with, like people who do mediumship that talk to spirits, some will say for love, they will see a flower. So they'll see someone holding a flower. Well, this one person comes in love. So different symbols for different people. And, so go by that, my dear. It says, pay attention. The soul is pouring stardust and stories into your being tonight. So this journaling that you do, it feels like it can even be a novel, something that you might want to like write about. I'm working on something too, and I think it would be awesome if we could all write a story or a novel or a book about things that we know, that we deeply know about, and that we can share and have fun with the creation with the fiction characters based in reality. So that is something too I'm wondering. It just feels like there's a very magical book is there, maybe for like a young generation or something. But already, let's take a look at your tarot. I have a family picture of my great great granddad jumping 6 horses over a fence, and he's standing on the back of the 7th. Oh my God. Wow. That is so cool. Let's see. Was General of the Horse Battalion in England. Wait a minute. What is this? Horseback riding and showing was big in my family for generations. My great grandfather was General of the Horse Battalion in England, and every generation after rode, including me. Oh, wow. I know I keep saying, oh, wow, but I'm getting goosebumps. Thank you so much for validating what I was getting. Thank you so, so much. And Irene Firehorse says, my answers were horse thieves. Wow. And you were and he did it in uniform. My goodness. That is fabulous. Okay. So this is going to kind of bring us all together, my dear. Holding on to those dreams, securing the self-respect and self-nurture and boundaries. Your underlying, I'll start with the underlying energy first. You got the 10 of Winter Swords. And the 10 of Swords is coming, but what the good news is that it's coming full circle. The 10 of Swords, girl, is that energy when we're done, with backstabbing, self-sabotage, everything. We are just, typically the card shows someone on the ground with the swords in their back. Here they're showing that she's being lifted up and the swords are coming at her. But if you look behind, you got this beautiful sun that is starting to either rise or to set. And it's the end of the day or the beginning of a day when we can start removing those swords, because the only way to go when we're down, like she's floating up, is to go up. So whatever these swords represent, this could be betrayal. This could be, mental anguish, things that do with the swords, communication. This could be things people, were cruel that communicated to you. Again, social media, we really have to be watchful for, especially when it's even people in our own families or in our inner circles. But it shows that she has the power to remove those and to rise up. And a new day will start, my dear. And it's time to just start pulling, out those swords. And that with that one there, But your top card, which I really like, is the Winter Hanged Man, although it's a girl. So the Hanged Man, Hanged Girl, um, she's reading upside down. So at this time, you are seeing things in a different perspective. Sometimes we have to put ourselves into a place of self-sacrifice, as in sacrificing things that make us feel comfortable to deal with and to help us see through times like this. So this is a time right now where I feel like you are getting a new perspective on things of your life, on people. And again, with the writing and the journaling, and she's holding that book. So really taking the time for yourself and making kind of like the word manifesto just jumped in my head. Maybe this could be something good for all of us, writing our own manifestos of saying what, especially from starting now, moving forward, what we will work on and not accepting in our lives from others, and what we want to embrace and bring into our own lives. And so when we take that pause and we look at things from a different perspective, it opens things up to help us understand this Ten of Swords, and to give us insight on how to remove these Ten of Swords, and to be able to take the wisdom from these Ten of Swords that brought us that clarity, that we needed to be able to, okay, picking myself up, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to move forward. So that's what I have, Lulu. Thank you for letting me read for you, and thank you again for the confirmation. It's a winding path. Yep, that hair was a beautiful little winding path. It was. Let me take a quick sip. It's times like these you learn to love again. Yes. Oop, did I miss something? Let's see, what does she say here? This community has helped me immensely. Well, I'm glad that we've been able to be a support for you. I mean, we all have to do the work, Spirit can just keep giving us the same message time after time, with cards, but if we don't put in the work, then we're just going to basically be spinning our wheels. But let's see what you shared here. I've been working hard to rise from the grief of family loss. Mom, brother, and dad, all in the last decade. Oh my goodness. The night is just beginning to show on my horizon as I submerge into my spiritual self. Wow, that I'm so sorry that you lost your family, but just know too that they're there to support you. They're there to, I know some people like to think of them as angels. Angels, spirit guides, they're there to support you and guide you. They have to stand back, and let us, have to learn the lessons that we need to learn. But at the same time, what a wonderful support team, you have in spirit. And I am not going to assume that the relationships were all good with every single, member. I mean, we all have our ups and downs with our family members, but I think a lot of that in all, on the other side, will be, the wisdom, and that gives you the strength to acknowledge each of those swords, maybe even to take out those swords and name each one if you can, if you feel inclined to. Like if you know what that sword is, give it a name, and then when you put them all and you see them, I thank you for, despite the pain, the wisdom, that it has brought me. And so again, we all work through our grief differently. Um, so I do have time, I think, for one more. I keep looking up here because my iPad, my time would be there. Now I got to look down here. It's 3:14. Andrea, are you still here? Yeah, but Lulu in my chat, as long as everyone stays respectful, whether or not we all will have differing opinions about different aspects of life, we always stay respectful of each other and very supportive of each other. So you're always welcome, in my chat. Andrea, are you here? I'm still here. All righty. Okay. Andrea, I read for you a long time ago. It's been over a year or so. I was on Ramon's channel when I was reading with Ramon. I remember you popping in. I think me, Ramon, and maybe Bobby um, had pulled cards for you one night. You're welcome, sweetheart. Got it, Jax. Thank you, my dear. Okay. And I'm excited to share this new deck that I got. And it actually came from Canada. So I ended up having to pay, thanks to the Trump administration, I had to pay my tariffs on it, but it was well spent, well worth the money. I was hoping to maybe do a flip through tonight, but I'll see if I can do it tomorrow instead in between my appointments, because this deck is just wow. And it's based on Egyptian, folklore and imagery. So very, very, very cool. All righty. Andrea, as I'm saying, that deck is about Egyptian, folklore and deities. You got Hathor. Wow. Oops. She just left on my hand. So Hathor, I nurture myself and others by showing care and gratitude. So again, perfect card for this time of year, showing ourselves and others some compassion, self-care, and being grateful, especially during a season when so much is about how many gifts to buy and this and that and the latest gadgets and whatnot. And yeah, they're a lot of fun, little kid toys and big kids toys, but it's a beautiful reminder to be grateful for what we do have, but let me open the book and share a little about the goddess Hathor. It almost sounds like they're saying Heather. So she was always one of my favorites. So let me back up. So Hathor. She is the Egyptian goddess of women, fertility, and joy. And when we talk about fertility, it doesn't necessarily mean, the giving of birth of a child. This fertility is the fertility that we have of creativity, how we're fertile with ideas and possibilities and potential. So she is the motherhood, fertility, gratitude, and the arts. So Hathor loves her people like a mother loves her children. The more gratitude she receives, the more she repays with gifts and pleasures, until you realize that to be truly grateful is the only way to experience real joy. It is with a mother's love that Hathor became the mistress of heaven. And you can still see large temples and monuments that were dedicated to Hathor. The giving mother, in some images and illustrations, you will see her as the sow, the cow, because the cows were very sacred. And with the milk, also being connected with the Milky Way. So a lot of when they saw things like this in the sky, they thought of the nurturing mother's milk, from her breasts and how she feeds her children. So and also in other artwork, Hathor has been showed being able to, milk and nurture, others, including her civilization, Egyptian. You got it, girl. And Allison, wait till you see this deck that I got. It's going to blow you. I think it will blow your mind. It's already blown mine. So we have Hathor. And I am going to go to, which one do I want? Let's go to the Yuletide. You got wreath. I love wreaths. So this is your card. Beautiful artwork. Sorry again about the glare. I'm going to have to figure out lighting with this new laptop. And it says here, there in the circle of life, amen. There in the circle of life tends to breathe death. One is not without the other. eternally bound by the essence of spirit. So they're acknowledging the beauty of the wreath for the holiday season, but they're also showing that the circles of life. You cannot have life without death. There's life, there's, death, and then there's a rebirth into a new life. And with the Yuletide season, that is the ending of the dark night, the year, and then the beginning of, the reign of the sun god, and that reign, the sun is reborn. And so it's been so there was the death back in the Samhain when, um, the god had to die to be able to provide life and sustenance for the people, for the ancestors, according to the Celtic, wheel of the year. And so, but actually, this goes in all cultures. All civilizations have very similar myth stories, prior to the patriarchal religions. And so, the wreath is a beautiful reminder this time of year of the cycle, the circle of the year. We have come full circle another year, and the time of, the death of the old and the rebirth of, the new at the morning of Yule. So very, very beautiful. So let me go ahead and pull. So it's acknowledging that there is there's an ending of a cycle coming for you, or has come for you, Andrea. And there's a beauty to be able to embrace that and acknowledge. With Hathor, she's the nurturer of life. She is the mother. And with this here, with the wreath, there is an ending, but there's also a beautiful beginning I'm feeling that's coming for you soon, or has already begun. But let's see what your cards have to say. Okay, so we'll start with the underlying energy, the subconscious energy. So you got the Winter Devil. So this card represents things that we are still clinging onto. So with this wreath, to have that rebirth, to be nurtured again, to be able to nurture ourselves and to allow people to nurture us, that want to, we have to let go of things that we are unhealthily, that they're unhealthy, that we cling to. And these could be false beliefs about ourselves, self-sabotage that we do to ourselves. This could be an addiction to possibly foods, drink, our vices, things that we can become bound to. And this is also things that, that we can become bound to, that other people have said and or done to us. So this is the part of the underlying energy, is having to face our demons, face what no longer serves us, because we have the power to slip through those bonds and to free ourselves. So yeah, but your top card is the Apprentice of Winter Wands. And in this deck, Apprentice is the Knights. So you're basically got the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is full on force. So I feel like that you're starting to make this progress. You're starting to move. You're getting motivated. It feels like this time of year is like, it just feels like you kind of recently gave yourself the ultimatum of, okay, this year at this time, a change needs to be made. I have to let go of such to be able to move forward. And you are feeling very motivated by spirit and within yourself and possibly others to do this. The Knight of Wands, again, full on energy, full head on, willpower, focused, inspired. So this is like you taking, I want to say taking the reins, because you're kind of holding on to the fox. So the fox, you're letting that wild nature of yourself to be able to propel you. You're going down that hill full speed. and to make, just to watch for any bumps along the way. But it's beautiful that you're getting inspired, and but also being inspired to make sure that you don't rush through things um, without going through the proper channels, without doing the proper rituals that are necessary. It's like we can go through and say, okay, I'm going to do this and this, but then we end up losing sight and we fall back. So here, even though there's that wonderful energy and inspiration to move forward, make sure that we don't rush things so fast that we truly don't spend time on what needs to be dealt with or worked with, if that makes sense. Um, Thank you. I appreciate. You're welcome, my dear. So, but yeah, you have the power, and in this card, the two are coming together, and they got their hands on that beautiful ball of light, and they know that they're acknowledging each other, that they all have the ability to tap into that energy and be able to face face each other, face those demons. Um, and to be able to make to make that difference, to make that move, to make that change. So that's what I have for you, my dear. Thank you for letting me read for you, and thank you everybody for letting me pull cards. I see we have another person. Hello, Takunak. I don't have time. I have to actually get going. But I am here, on Mondays doing these readings. I also do pop ups during the week, and I also have a Friday show. It's always nice to see new faces in chat, but I did start. It's been over, I started at 2, so it's been an hour and a half. So I do need to end the show. But I want to thank everybody again for popping in and spending their time with me. I appreciate you all so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I should hopefully pop on tomorrow at some point to share this beautiful new deck I have. And thank you, Irene. I appreciate that, my dear. And so I'm double checking, but Thursday, I will be, I will be with Ben. We'll be talking about having fun. I'm talking about 80s movies. And there'll be soundtracks we'll be talking about with the movies. And that'll be Thursday. And then Friday, Ivana Intuitive is going to join me for my Friday night sidekick show. And I double checked with Jonathan, and we were supposed to be doing a live painting on Friday as well before my Friday night show. So as soon as I get the go ahead, I'll make the thumbnail for that and get that started. So everybody, thank you again, and I will all see you on the next show. Bye bye, everybody.